This is Oscar Robertson. We're here to talk about the triple-double. That's points, rebounds, and assists. Sometimes blocked shots or steals. I was told the first game I ever played against the Los Angeles Lakers, I had a triple-double. Wow, it's been some time ago. But you know, the nature of the game has changed quite a bit with the Oscar Robertson rule and guys going to different teams that you can see what's going on in basketball today. Well, Russell Westbrook, tremendously gifted athlete, has a great knowledge of the game of basketball. He's been so successful with this triple-double, it's almost unbelievable because he's at the top of the heap. What he has done is classical, and it's going to be in the record books. This is what the media is talking about today. When you're successful, things happen to you. Good things happen to you. And I'm going to say to you, Russell, stay strong. I'm very happy for you. Your family is very proud of you. And I salute you for all your accomplishments in the game of basketball.
Getting love from Oscar Robertson himself and from Ice Cube. Get him on the court and he's trouble. That's from Today Was a Good Day if you want to go back in your music archives, folks. And then, of course, AI, Bubba Chuck. Just watch history being made. Congratulations, Russ, on breaking a record no one thought would be broken. Well-deserved. Keep it up, killer. But that's not all. Zeke, Isaiah Thomas, let it be known. Russell Westbrook, NBA history has been made. That's what it's all about, getting accolades that are quite due from everyone in the NBA family to Russell Westbrook. But now it's time for us to get into Wizards Watch. Me and my man, Chris Miller. I told you at the beginning of the show we were going to get into a conversation later on. Now is that time. Chris, I have a simple question. I tweeted this out like back on Monday about 250 plus. But that was just my estimation of it. I want to know from you, how much more of Russ can we get, and like how much longer can he keep this triple-double thing going on?
Well, the late, great Aaliyah had a song called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. That's the truest sense of what Russell Westbrook is doing right now. And when you look at between ages 28 to 32, that's where he's done his most damage. I mean, this guy is getting better with time because I think he understands his body, getting rest, staying hydrated, all those things, right? And going out on the court every night playing the same way. I want you to take a look at this graphic. Between ages 28 and 32, we're going to show you Oscar Robertson, what he was doing in terms of getting triple-doubles compared to Russell Westbrook. Mr. Robinson had 31 in 373 games, okay? You look at Russell Westbrook, he's had 145 in 353 games. Russ has had 100 less games to get to the mark of 182. It is absolutely remarkable. Here's more of Russ in a recent conversation I had with him.
When did you first hear about Oscar and kind of understanding what he did, and now you are chasing history? When did that become a thing for you?
You know, honestly, it started the year I won the MVP. Kind of, obviously, I obviously knew who Oscar Robertson was, but didn't understand the significance and the things he ever do for the game until I actually sat down and had a conversation with him. And the triple-double thing kind of became a thing because that year was the first time anybody had done it since he done it. And since then, it's kind of been a conversation starter and kind of something that people kind of relate the triple-double and my name is in a conversation, which is, something I don't take for granted, something that I'm extremely blessed and humbled by to be in a conversation with guys like Oscar.
Chris, I'm looking forward to your interview with Russ on Friday, and you can see it right here, Wizards fans, 6 p.m. on Wizards Pregame Live, ahead of the Wizards-Cavs game, right here on NBC Sports Washington. But Chris, before we get to Friday, and actually including Friday, we have to ask a question. I want to know about these last few remaining games. We've got the Hawks tonight, Cleveland on Friday, and then Sunday against the Charlotte Hornets, who I'm still mad about those laughs on Super Bowl Sunday. But what does the mathematical picture look like for us as we get down this home stretch?
Brother, it is as simple as this. Just win tonight. That's it. You will punch your ticket at least to the play-in. Get it done tonight. Why wait until Friday? Why wait until Sunday? Just get some get back after what happened with the Hawks on Monday. Get it done. It is that simple. When you look at the Bulls, they lost to Brooklyn last night. You see where they are right now. The Pacers are an interesting group, though, Wes. For some reason, they can't beat the Wizards, but they're starting to figure things out. They beat Cleveland since they played us, and they beat Philadelphia last night.
I know.
Okay, the bullies on the block, the team that I told you is going to represent the East in the finals. So Indy just beat Philly. But tonight, it's very simple. You win.
So that way we can get into it tonight. Sticks, I'm on your team tonight, buddy. I want you to get these right. We're going to go through 3 questions. They all pertain to the Wizards. So let's get it in. You ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. First one up as we get into this here game called Pick and Roll. We're starting at question number 2. Most rebounds by a player tonight. You know the options. Who you taking?
You know, I would love to take Russell Westbrook, but Clint Capella had 22, so I got to pick him.
All right, we're going Clint Capella, sliding to number 3. Wizards 3-pointers versus the Hawks.
You know, this was actually a tough one. They had 13 last game. I'm going to stick with that number. Seems like a pretty good number for them.
Ooh, I like 13. Let's jump ahead to question number 7 for tonight's matchup against the Hawks. Who's the winner? We already know that answer. Boom. All right.
The Wizards.
What's the margin of victory, my friend?
Seeing as how they lost by 1 last time, I'm actually going to say that they win by 3 this time.
Oh, I like what you did there, so that's the way we play it. And of course, we'll make sure that we revisit these picks a little bit later on in post-game. Jason Smith, well played again, NBA fans. The all-new, all-free game for the NBA. Pick and roll. You can take your shot. It's on the NBC Sports Predictor app powered by PointsBet. You play for free. Cash prizes every week. Make sure you do yourself a favor. Download it now or hit that QR code on the screen right now. Now, of course, as the Wizards are making their chase towards the postseason, the red, white, and blue have kind of picked up some fans, and some of them happen to be wearing burgundy and gold. Yes, Washington football team offensive coordinator Scott Turner recently sat down with JP Finley, to discuss his fandom about the Washington Wizards.
Joined now by Washington offensive coordinator Scott Turner. Normally I'm asking you football questions, but I gotta ask, you've been taking to Twitter to defend your boy Russell Westbrook. How much fun are you having watching this late season Wizards run?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch. You know, growing up in this area, going to the games, going back to even US Air Arena, and then what was the, MCI Center. So follow the team, and then just Russell Westbrook in particular. Always been a big fan of his. You know, as a coach, when you see somebody that brings it every night and plays with that type of intensity and attitude, and you can tell how important it is to him. And I know that maybe that rubs some people the wrong way, but not me. I'm all for it. So I like the edge that he consistently plays with. So rooting for him and rooting for the Wizards.
What kind of run do you think they can get on in that little play-in tournament thing that's going to be so crazy?
I don't know. I got to do some research on that format. I'm not even 100% sure. I mean, obviously we've been busy getting ready for the draft. In all sports, it's a lot, depends on some matchups and kind of how you're doing when the time comes. But I think that, the way they've been playing, they're going to be the tough team to beat.
We're about the same age. Do you remember That's the Reason I'm a Bullets fan song?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I remember, like I said, going out when it was like Chris Webber and Juwan Howard and going to those games.
Rod Strickland, I love those.
Yeah, exactly. When Rod Strickland, absolutely. It's good to see him back in the prominence and back, fighting for playoffs.
All right, now we got a great battle of the point guards headed your way tonight. Rematch from Monday. Russ put up a historic 182nd career triple-double. But Trae Young had a game-high 36 points, 13 for 13 from the charity stripe. In fact, actually, Young went to the line more than the entire Wizards team. We have to discuss that, which actually brings us back to mind about tonight's poll for you Wizards fans. Which one of these 4 guys on the Hawks team do the Wizards have to get in a wrap? Got to lock somebody up. You can't let them run roughshod all over the court. Is it going to be Bogdanovich? It's going to be Clint Capella? Maybe John Collins or Trae Young? Vote for yourself right now at NBCSportsWashington.com/vote. Click on that Wizards icon and vote for which one of these 4 options do we have to neutralize tonight. So important. Can't let these guys run roughshod. I'll say Trae Young with those 13 for 13 from the free throw line. Unacceptable. But that brings to mind my guys. I want to bring in everybody. Let's have a little bit of discussion about this. And I'm going to come with you first, Jason Smith, because I haven't heard from you in a minute, my friend. Which one of these 4 players do the Wizards need to lock down tonight?
You would say lock down Trae Young. He's quick, he's crafty, he's undersized, but he plays well in the paint using floaters, getting layups. But he also has a buddy, John Collins, to where if he does get in trouble in that paint, he dumps it off to him, and John Collins uses his athleticism. So I'm going to scratch those two guys. Clint Capella, he's a monster out there. He's got long arms, he's athletic, he has a knack for rebounding. So my pick is actually to keep Bogdanović a little bit at bay because he went 7 for 12 from 3. Those are things that you can control. You can go out and contest shots. He's not the most athletic player out there. He's not the quickest. He's a very savvy veteran. He can knock down shots at a consistent pace. So that is the guy that you really need to limit. It's going to be tough to limit Young and Collins. Capella's a beast. I think Bogdanović is going to be the guy that you got to key on. Limit his touches and his easy three-point attempts.
I like what you're doing there, Jason, and I like what Wizards fans are doing right now. Get those votes up. Who do we have to control? Tony Massenberg, the floor is yours. Which one of these four do we have to neutralize tonight?
Yeah, I would go with Bogdanović because when you look at the other two guys, Trae Young is a guy who's going to get shots and is able to create shots for himself relatively easily. And then you're looking at Collins, and he's a guy who's accepted how to play off of Trae Young when Trae Young gets double-teamed or gets into trouble. And so he knows Trae Young is his number one option of guys that he's looking to pass to. To me, Bogdanović is a guy who, if you can run him off the line, you can force him into doing some other things, maybe make him a little bit more uncomfortable. To me, that last game, he was just comfortable catching and shooting and knocking down shots and just basically playing off of his teammates. You make him a priority on the scouting report and say to yourselves, you're not going to let this guy beat us. And you force somebody else on the roster to take shots because there are not very many guys in an Atlanta Hawk uniform that can shoot the ball better than Bogdanović. So you want to keep him in a position where he's taking tough shots. I thought he just got too many easy looks the last game.
Chris Miller, both of these guys are saying that Bogdanović is the guy you got to neutralize. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of scared of Trae Young. You know, he's the guy behind the wheel. He drives that offense. And like Russ, extremely athletic, doesn't pick up the ball unless he has to, and he can shoot from deep. Who do you say is the guy we got to neutralize tonight?
It's Trae Young. He got 13 for 13 at the charity stripe. The Wizards had no answer for him, right? He could do anything he wanted on the floor, and by him doing that, that opens up Bogdanović also and them super-duper athletic bigs in Capella and Collins. It's ice Trae. To the point where if you don't limit him tonight, he might give you a 40 ball. Not a bold prediction. I'm just saying, what do you have, 36?
Yes, sir.
He kind of did that kind of like in the second half, really. If he has one of those explosion games, he's a problem. That's the guy you got to stop.
There you have
With
it.
all due respect to our NBA champion and Mr. Jason Smith, of course.
Right. Slow down, Trae Young.
I knew Chris Miller was going to disagree with us, but
Farm Arena in Atlanta. Now, he is not going to be on the court tonight, but that's great to see that he's up getting warmed up. He might be back in action on Friday. We don't know yet. But trust me, when we do, you know where to come. Right here on NBC Sports Washington. We will have that information for you as the Wizards get ready to take on the Hawks tonight. Seeing as it's the appropriate time of the night, let's go ahead and get into it. Time to get spicy. Bold predictions, 4-point play tonight. I'm in a great mood. My friends are as well, Wizards fans. Remember who gets these right, so that way in postgame, we keep us all, accountable. We like accountability around these parts. But Jason Smith, you get to go first, sir. What do you got for us tonight? What's your bold prediction?
There's a colleague on this show that didn't think I got my prediction right last time, but you know what? I did. And I got it on point. I said first to 125. Now, Mr. Chris Miller said I didn't get the win because I said the Wizards would get there. I didn't put that in my official bold prediction. Well, guess what? I'm pushing my chips in, Wes.
Let's go.
I'm going back to my 125, and I'm going to say that we're going to flip the script this time, and the Wizards are going to get that win tonight. So, Chris Miller, I'm officially saying first to 125, the Jason Smith rule is in effect, baby. Now, what you got?
Stamp it. What you got to say, Chris? Got anything to say about that?
I have nothing to say
All right,
about
then.
Jason Smith's predictions.
That's what I thought.
Tony Massenberg. Now that Jason done go ahead and push their chips in, what you got for us tonight?
You know, man, I can sit back and laugh at these two all day long, man. It just cracks me up, man. It is real entertainment, for real. Hey, listen, I got 45 points for the bench. I'm looking at the roles that the bench has played all year and how important they've been to Wizards wins in particular. Now, again, we've got some guys that got to get in the starting lineup because of the injury. So I'm putting 45 out there. Despite how well the Wizards have been playing bench-wise, we got to get somebody off the bench into the starting lineup right now. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But if they can come through with at least 45 points tonight, I think that really helps push things in the Wizards' favor.
I like that. Making sure the bench gets their job done, that's important because at the end of the day, we need everybody on deck to make sure that they get this done tonight. And remember, we put up 59 against Atlanta on Monday, so let's see if we can get that 45 tonight. Chris, now the floor is yours, sir. Let's see what you have. I'm excited to hear this.
I thought there was a little bit of home cooking Monday at State Farm Arena for the Atlanta Hawks. And proof positive of that is, do you realize the Hawks made more free throws than the Wizards attempted? In fact, they doubled them up. More makes, 23 Atlanta, 11 free throw attempts Wizards. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because Scott Brooks said something in the postgame show, Tony and Jason, you know how this works with officiating. I am mindful of the fact that tonight, the Wizards will double up their free throw attempts tonight. They will have at least 22 free throws attempted.
I was glad you clarified that because, you know, we can get in the weeds when people like 22 free. Well,
and I'm beyond the first 120. I've moved on from that.
What?
I'm on to something different. 125.
Okay.
That's what the average.
I'm just saying we're playing the Atlanta Hawks again for the same time. It's only 2 days in between these. They got the fresh memory, just flipped the script, first to 125. I think he's just a little bit mad that I called it the Jason Smith rule. You know, 125 is a little bit more bolder than 120. That's my opinion.
I just want to put you guys on a T-shirt and a split screen, so that way it's the first.
What's your record?
Well, that's why we're going to flip the script tonight.
Y'all are terrible. Y'all absolutely terrible. But I love it.
That's my dog over there.
All right, family. That's what it's all about. So let me go ahead and get my bold prediction out of the way real quick. Guys, Chris, you said the word double up, right? So tonight,
yes,
the word double is actually part of my bold prediction, and it involves Rui Hachimura. I need Rui to give me a double-double tonight. He had 20 points on Monday night. That's great. We appreciate that, Rui. Thank you. But he's had 6 double-doubles in his career. I need him to give me number 7 tonight. Why? We lost by 1 point on Monday. Bittersweet. Yeah, Russ made history, but we want the dub. We want to control our destiny. So for me, that is all incumbent upon this man on the screen right now, giving us a double-double, the 7th of his career. That's what we need. But Wizards fans, neither here nor there. You can find out if we got our bold predictions correct on Postgame Live after tonight's matchup between the Wizards and the Hawks. Whole cast of characters going to be here. We'll be getting at each other, a little whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you the breakdown on the game and a whole lot more. And you can, of course, see who was right and who's wrong. But right now, there is a kid who is taking over social media. He's got dunks, he's got charisma, and he knows hoops. And his videos have taken over so much, he's gotten over 100 million views, and NBA legends are taking note. Check out my interview. I got a chance to sit down with the man himself, a.k.a. Hoopin' Nate, for a one-on-one.
Westbrook, good hustle by Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon jumped into the shot. Let me see you get something filthy.
He got bounce. He gets up and he dunk on you if you give him a chance. His name is Hoopin' Nate. Where'd you get the inspiration for all the dunking and everything?
Just watching highlights of Derrick Rose and other dunkers from the NBA. Just trying to imitate their dunks every day.
I was going to say, I saw a couple of Aaron Gordon moves in there, a couple of behind-the-back situations and whatnot. Like, what do your parents think about you dunking all over the house and kitchen?
They're always super supportive of me, but occasionally when I break things, I don't want to talk about the Italy plate. But other than that, it doesn't get too tense around here.
You mentioned Derrick Rose and guys like that. Like, who are some of your favorite dunkers in the NBA right now?
Zion, Russell Westbrook, Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, guys like those.
You mentioned Russell Westbrook. You know I cover Russell Westbrook every game, right? This is my job. So, like, what are your thoughts on what he's been able to do? You saw he now owns, like, the triple-doubles for all of NBA history.
He just passed Oscar Robinson, right?
Yeah, Oscar Robertson. That's right, man.
That's crazy. And he's super explosive, too.
I noticed that you dunked on, what is that? I see the goal behind you right now.
Yeah.
So that's over a cabinet. How many other places have you dunked on things?
Too many to count, probably. Anywhere I can find.
Is there one particular dunk that you haven't been able to get yet? That you tried a lot, but you haven't been able to get it yet?
360 double through the legs. I've been trying.
Hold on, let me see. 360. I got that part. 360. Double between the legs?
Yeah, I've been close, but can't get it.
Oh my gosh. What's been the hardest one that you have gotten it? What's that?
The bounce dunk. It took me like 3 hours. It was really hard.
3 hours?
Funny story, it was before the NBA All-Star Weekend, and I needed to post a video before it. And I think the event was at like 5, and it was like 2. And I started trying to dunk, and it took me up till like the last minute.
Did you take a break at all? Any TV timeouts?
A few water breaks.
That's what's up. You know what's so funny about your videos too? I remember when I was a kid, we used to do the same thing. And like your parents have probably told you, no, wag the finger, stop doing that. I'm kind of jealous of you, Nate. We didn't have cameras around when we were doing it. I know you like Russell Westbrook and a guy like him. If there's anybody in the entire NBA whose game that you would like to be like, no matter who it is, who would it be?
Prime Derrick Rose.
Ooh, know about Prime Derrick Rose? What you know about Prime? Hit him with the hezzy Derrick Rose with the explosion. What do you know about that?
Just many highlights watched. Because I wasn't really old enough to remember back in like 2011, but all the highlights I've watched, that's who I try to imitate.
Aaron Gordon jumped out of his shoe.
Kisses. Let me see you kiss up the filthy.
I'm jealous, y'all. I'm jealous. He gets to dunk all over the house. It would have taken one dunk in my mother's house, and that'd been the last time I did that. Matter of fact, I think that happened one good time. Guys, just when I think about this, I know he's not the only one that's attempted some dunks. Mr. Smith, have you tried to get your dunk action going? I know you used to do it on the court a lot, but here recently, Nate's inspired some people, yourself included, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I actually posted a little video on Twitter of me trying to attempt a couple of his dunks. He's a little bit more athletic than I am. He's a lot younger than I am. He's a little bit lighter out there. But this was me yesterday trying to imitate my man out there. But I thought I was pretty good out there. But you know, I was trying. I got a little athleticism, but
Hold on.
I could have been in the hospital on a couple of those.
Hold on.
You're making us look bad, Jay. You're making us look bad. You're making us look bad.
But it's okay, because I had a couple.
Making us look bad in retirement, Jason. You're making us look bad.
Those as well. My back's
You know what?
today, the calves are a little sore. I'm doing okay though.
You know what? I'm going to give you a chance. I was going to say, I want to see that again. I want to see that again. Because Jason.
Oh, yeah. Look,
yeah. See,
that's the one I can actually. Oh, yep. No, not that one. No.
See, this is Stick's actually getting up. See, I see what you did there, Jason. I see what you did there. I'm going to give you some props. You kept your head above the rim.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You like Wes. You wearing your hat
Look
to
how
the back.
happy I was.
Yeah, it's a hat thing.
Hey, man, I had to put a hat on because there was a little bit too much sunshine on the top of my head.
I have to do this because I know Chris asked for it, and I want to see it too. Can we run the other one back? I just want to see the first one again because y'all made fun of me so many times for missing a simple jump shot with my hat on. Hey, hold on. That's the queen. That's the queen. That's the queen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hang on a second. We're back to this one. Accountability, sir.
Warm up the shoulder, Wes.
We do. What's all that? What's all that? Have you ever seen a cheetah stretch? You don't stretch before greatnation. You just do it, Jason.
Hey, the kid is a kid. I'm old, 35. Come on now.
Explosion hammy.
Jason. That man double hamstring, ACL, LCL, MCL, and all the LCLs. That's well played, Jason Smith. We appreciate you letting us have some fun with you, but we're not done. This show is nowhere near done, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you know we have a great interview coming up this Friday. The newly crowned king of triple doubles, Russell Westbrook's on the show. You do not want to miss it.
Coming up.
The Wizards fought back from a 19-point deficit Monday night against Atlanta, although ultimately losing by 1. Not to be forgotten, the resurgence in the fourth quarter is what kept the Wizards in the game. NBA analyst Jason Smith will show us just how important that run was for Washington when we jump in the film room. Monday night, odds makers had the Wizards as 8.5-point underdogs against the Hawks, with the Wiz spoiling that prediction by losing by just 1. What do odds makers think the Wizards will do tonight against Atlanta? We'll find out in Storylines. Vassenberg showing some love to the big guys inside, Robin Lopez.
Robin Lopez clearly was the guy who was able to get buckets consistently for the Wizards, especially in that fourth quarter when you look at what he was doing. And one way that he does it is because he's physical. When he sets screens, he gets his body on people. Now watch him here. You see him, he gets his body, he gets contact, and then that creates the lane for him. And Russ knows that Robin Lopez is going to roll. Now look at this move. Normally goes over the right shoulder, but this normally goes over his left shoulder. This time goes over his right shoulder because he knows for that hook shot. And again, you talk about the physicality. Again, Russ, Lopez forcing Herter to switch. Then once he recognizes he has a switch, he continues to hold his position and then gets an easy 2 right there from Russ. Russ knows not to take his eyes off of Robin Lopez because he knows the majority of the time when he sets a screen, he's going to roll, and he's a great roll option because of the way he's able to finish around the basket and in the painted area.
You said Rolo is good at rolling?
Rolo is good at rolling.
I see what you did there, my friend. Now let's roll on into Storylines with the odds powered by PointsBet. Looking at tonight's matchup against the Hawks down in Atlanta, second time in 3 days. Again, odds powered by PointsBet. The Wizards now 7-point underdogs. It moved from 6.5, now it's to 7. Jason Smith, talk to me about the fact that the odds makers brought it down from the 8.5 that it was on Monday.
You know, 7 points is absolute travesty. The fact that they've lost their 3 games by a combined 3 points, that's what it is. They're only going to lose by 1, maybe 2 points. They fight till the end. Doesn't matter how much they're down. They're going to continue to go out there and fight. And I think that tonight, it's not going to be underdogs. They're going to come out there, get out in transition, and come out with the dub.
I like the dub, and I like the fact that when you look at these odds, Tony, they've got the total points for today set at 238-5, all right? Now, remember, we almost put up 250 on Monday. What is it with these low numbers, sir?
Listen, I just think the Wizards aren't getting enough respect. And clearly with Bradley Beal being out of the lineup, that surely weighs into what the line is. But you look at the supporting cast, and guys have really stepped up. And you look at this last game against the Hawks, people really thought that this was going to be a game that the Hawks would win easily because the Wizards were without Bradley Beal. But again, the Wizards have shown that they don't necessarily need Bradley Beal to win certain basketball games. Clearly they need him to win the majority of them, but there are nights when guys are able to step up, and this is one of them. Russell Westbrook usually carries the load when Bradley Beal is not there, but we've also seen other guys. Davis shot the ball well. We saw what Lopez was able to do in the fourth quarter in particular. So there are other guys on this team that are able to make up for those points when Bradley Beal is not in the lineup. Indeed, they will have to make up for him because, again, I since Jason snuck in his little prediction, I'm going to sneak mine in too. Hey, Rui! Double-double, man. Double-double. All I need. Anyway, guys, appreciate that. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for tonight. It's kind of important, right? See how the numbers match up and everything. Again, this is from Monday night. 125-124 was the final score. Wizards had 51 field goals. But, again, it's that free throw situation. Look at that. 23 for 36 from the charity stripe. That was the difference maker. The Wizards also had 16 fast break points to Atlanta's 5. What do we have to do? Rebound more, make sure we get to the charity stripe, and continue to knock down clips from deep because that's how we get our wins. But right now, let's head on down to the crossover. Brought to you. Oh, well, before I do that, I want to make sure I do this real quick. Before we get to the crossover, I want to make sure you guys close this out because I'm going to ask the guys in the crossover the same question. Who do the Wizards have to limit on the Hawks team? Bogdanovich, Capella, Collins, or Young? Which one? I want to see. In 3, 2, 1, we're closing it. It's over. What's the final what? Trae Young. Thank you, because that's what I said. Chris Miller said it too, so thank you for both of us. I appreciate that. Now, let me go ahead and get to the crossover so I can put Glenn Consor and Justin Kutcher on the spot with the exact same question. First of all, guys, looking forward to seeing your coverage tonight of the Hawks game down in Atlanta. But, Glenn, I'm coming to you first on the same thing I just mentioned to Wizards fans. Which one of those 4 Hawks players do the Wizards have to focus on limiting tonight?
What did you and Chris say?
Trae Young, sir.
Well, I was going to say that, but given the fact that you said Trae Young, I'm going with Bogdanovich, because the guy made 7 threes. He's the most underrated shooter in the NBA, and he's a silent assassin.
For me, Wes, I have to go with you guys, and I have to say it's going to be Trae Young. And the reason why I say that is this. In 2 games against the Wizards this year, he scored 77